What's the weirdest thing that ever happened to you that made you think that God was real? And I'm not.
My coffee. My real name is Joe. This is a cup of Joe, but you know me as all things Zuzu or Zuzo or Divine Expressions, wherever you find me on my social media platforms. So, I've shared this story a few times and it never clicks until I say the story again and it clicks and it clicks and it clicks again. But this time I have to remember to stay on track. So, a long time ago, I was in college for nursing and I didn't like it because I got into the second semester and my anatomy teacher at the community college that I went to was disgusting. She stuck her bare hands into the cap and the fat was stuck under her fingernails. She didn't even wear gloves. So I got so disgusted I couldn't be with her no more. And she was also a very difficult teacher. You know those college professors where you take the test and it's from the text inside the textbook, but then this teacher would trick you and make the dialogue box that says see the back of the book and then she'll put that in the test and then it was complicated. I was already a good student and smart, but my grades went down because of this professor. So I was like, you know what? I'm discouraged. I don't want to be in this class. So I finished that year off with business and then I switched to a different college and I went for interior designing. And then when I was in the interior designing program, they came into the class and they said, hey, anybody interior designing program? Guess what? We are changing it into interior architecture. And I was struggling with architecture. I don't really like the architecture part of the program. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to sit here and take all these classes. And I hate it. And it was just so difficult for me. So I went home. And it was about 3 a.m. and I was crying in my living room on the couch and I was like, God, I don't know what to do. Give me a sign. What am I supposed to do? And then all of a sudden I hear doom, 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 doom. I look at the TV and it's a whole bunch of models walking out on stage with these big avant-garde, different types of things, the music, the beat, the makeup, the hair. I said, maybe I'm supposed to be in the beauty field because I used to always put markers in my sister's Barbie's hair and cut the clothes and do stuff for her because she would ask me to do it. So I would do it. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm supposed to be in that because I love videography, I love music, I love photography, I love fashion, I love clothes, I love hair, I love makeup. I just loved all of it. So I was like, you know what? I went online and I just filled out this assessment test and they said that I was supposed to be in cosmetology. So then I clicked on something and then guess what? The next day they called me and they said, hey, this is the beauty school. We're calling you because we saw that you might be interested in our cosmetology program. And I said, oh, okay. So I scheduled, this was a Wednesday into a Thursday. I scheduled the interview on Thursday. I went on Thursday with my mother. Went into school. She walked me through the whole thing. And I said, well, what am I supposed to do? Because currently right now I'm in college full time. I'm already enrolled. So how am I supposed to do this with financial aid and so forth? Well, she talked me through it. She said, what would benefit, what would go through this now. And then she goes, okay, but then the only thing is that the kit for the cheap ass kit we got was $1,200. I didn't have that money because at that point my stepfather had passed and I was helping my mom pay the bills and stuff like that. So I was I didn't have the money. So I was like, okay. So I went home. The next day, Friday, I wake up and there's a check in the mail and it was a refund because if you get free college and stuff, they actually send you the extra money so you can buy gas, food, clothes, whatever you need, but more books or whatever the course would need for that semester. So the check was for $1,300. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I went to school. I told Jody, the lady at the time, I said, I have a check for $1,300. I said, I can't cash it right now because I don't have the money to cash it and it takes a couple days. So what can we do? She goes, okay, we'll take it. We'll take $1,200 for the kit and then the $100 actually will apply towards your loan. I said, sure, that's fine. So she took it and I was like, you know what? When do I start? When do I start school? And she goes, you just missed the deadline. You start Monday. That's when I knew God had to be real. That's when I knew God is real. And I worked part-time Friday and Saturdays 5 to 10 and Sundays 8 to 2 at a diner. With how much the bills cost me to keep the household running and everything like that, I look back and I'm like, there's no way. How did I make it with so little money? And how did I make it? How did I pay the bills? How did I do everything? There was a lot of people by my side, family that blessed me, family that was there through me. But there was a lot of things that I did on my own. And I was like, you know what? This is crazy. So I got a job at the salon, worked there for a year and a half, got promoted to manager, did that for a year, and then I demoted myself, went to the same company, different salon, and now I've been there for 11 years at that salon. And I was able to go through Reiki school. I was able to open up my own business, spiritual business. I was able to do a lot of things. I was able to buy a house. I was able to buy a car. I was able to save money. I was able to do so much that I couldn't have done if I would have went, I don't know what route I would have went, where I would have ended up, because nursing wasn't for me. I decided that I like the holistic approach. I didn't want to be part of Eastern civilization medicine. I mean Western medicine. I like the Eastern, the old, the holistic. And here I am today. And I just told the story to someone on Saturday because they asked me how I became a hairstylist, and that's the story I told them. And I was like, you know what? I always knew it was God, but I never stopped to really thank him for all of it. So I just want you to know that you are protected, you are guided. There's always a higher being that's behind you, protecting you, and giving you the strength and courage, because you wouldn't have been given the life that you have if you weren't strong enough to live it. And if you're feeling doubt, or if you're feeling like you can't go on in this life, trust me, there's someone out there that loves you. God loves you. I love you. We're all supposed to love each other. Just be kind and humble and love each other. You will get there. You will get there. Thank you, and God bless.